I've spent a lot of time putting together a ton of like papers and spreadsheet stuff on my statistics of the year so far. So I thought I could share my mid-year statistics with you and then also maybe compare them at the end of the year to see how much has changed. So I've got like notebooks and paper and stuff everywhere. So I've got a lot of things to talk about, and I also wanted to talk about my goals. So I set a bunch of goals at the beginning of the year like a bunch of people did, and I want to revisit those and see where I'm at with some of them. I know for a start that some of them have gone horribly, but we'll see. I would like to start with the statistics first just because they're the most interesting for me. Sorry, this video is a bit all over the place. It's going to be like more of a chatty video. I'm hopefully going to put pie charts or bar graphs or something like here. First of all, let me start on Goodreads because that seems like a good place to start. So I've read 59 books so far this year, and I've read a total of 2,164 pages, and I've listened to 1,651 minutes. One of the books that I've read has been a reread, so that's why it looks like I've read 60, but I've actually read 59. I have DNF'd a few books, and I'll be talking about those in a separate video in a few weeks. It says here that the shortest book that I read was 96 pages, and that was I'm Afraid of Men. The longest book I read was 619 pages, and that was The Kingdom of Copper. The most popular book that I've read so far has been Big Little Lies. The least popular is We Can See You, which, you know, I understand why. My average rating so far is apparently 2.9, which I think is actually something else on my spreadsheet because that one actually takes into account half stars. Goodreads. And then my highest rated read book is Becoming by Michelle Obama because obviously it was fantastic. So that's what Goodreads says. Let's have a look at some more of my notes, I guess. In terms of how I received the books, or how I acquired the books rather, 34 of the books that I read were bought, 10 were borrowed, and 14 were free. I think those numbers are slightly off. Some of the books that I did buy are actually backlist titles, and I bought them prior to 2019. So even though I've technically bought 34 of the books that I've read, I've only spent £38 on books this year, so I think I've bought like maybe up to 10 books, not that many at all. I also really like looking into like best and worst reading months. My best reading month in terms of pages was June. I read 13 books, I believe. And then my worst reading month in terms of pages was April. And then funnily enough, my best reading month in terms of rating, so a month in which I read a bunch of books that I actually enjoyed, was April. And my worst reading month in terms of rating was June, so they kind of swapped around. There's probably some sort of correlation there where I tend to speed through books if I don't like them and then move quickly on to the next one, but then if I love books I tend to like savour them and take my time with them, so I reckon that's what's happening. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, I actually counted the publishers because I saw that Mel to the Any did this and I found it really interesting because it was quite unexpected. That's what all of the highlighting on this spreadsheet is. So let's see, I read the most books that were published by Hachette. No, I didn't. I read the most books published by HarperCollins. I just can't read. Why have I done this in this order? Let's start that again. So Penguin and HarperCollins are tied at the top. I've read 15 books by both publishers. Then there's Hachette, which I've read 12 books by. And then there's joint last with Macmillan, 5, Simon & Schuster 5, and Other, which is self-published or indie publishing or like tiny publishing, which also has 5. I was quite interested to see which publisher I kind of gelled with the best, and I only managed to do this with my 5-star reads instead of my 4 stars as well, which is what I was originally going to do, but then it was going to take too long, so I didn't. But let me know if you want to know that in the future. I've read 3 5-star books so far this year. I know it's not very many. 2 out of the 3 have been published by Penguin, so I guess my favourite publisher would be Penguin this year. I'm going to be reading directly from this spreadsheet because otherwise it will take too long. I can't memorise that many numbers. Okay, so in terms of target audience, it's actually not what I expected it to be. I've read 2 new adult books. I've kind of labelled them new adult myself because publishers refused. 20 YA books and 37 adult books, and I don't think this has ever happened to me before that I've read more or that many more adult books than YA. I don't know what's happening. This might be how I managed to get 5-star reads because I'm not sure any of my 5-star reads have been YA. One second, let me just check this. No, okay, so my 5-star reads were obviously City of Brass twice and then The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle and then Big Little Lies. So none of those are YA, which does that mean that I'm drifting apart from YA? Maybe. Let me just quickly look at the 1-star books that I've got here and 2 stars, and then I'll tell you if I've got more YA on there. Okay, no, my lower rated books are more evenly split between YA adult and new adult. So that theory has gone to shit. It's just, apparently I just love Penguin adult books, I don't know. And then here, again, reading from this spreadsheet because I can't memorise all of this, sorry. My genres, I've read the most contemporary books. I've read 19 or 32% of the books that I've read. I've read 15 thrillers, so basically contemporary but more thrilling, which is 25% of my reading. And then the next highest one is fantasy with only 9 books, and I feel like I'm such a letdown because I always say that one of my favourite genres is fantasy, but apparently not, it's contemporary. I don't know, I guess I just don't know what I'm talking about. And then going through these quickly, there's non-fiction with 4, science fiction with 3, paranormal with 2, I don't know where that came from, mystery with 2, that's basically thrillers, crime with 1, and literary with 1. I don't really read much literary fiction. For my page count per day, like I said, I read 22,000 pages in total, and that's an average of 389 pages per book, or 115 pages per day, which I'm really happy with. I've always wanted to do 100 pages a day and I'm smashing that, so go me. Or 3,166 pages per month. And then onto my ratings. This spreadsheet says that I've given 4 books 5 stars, and I don't know how I've missed that. 1 second, let me just get back to you. I missed out The Kingdom of Copper. I am such an idiot. That hasn't actually affected any of my other stats because Kingdom of Copper is also through Penguin. However, I don't know how I missed that. I'm just ashamed of myself right now. Okay, so ratings wise, let's try this again. I've given 4 books 5 stars, 28 books 4 stars, 14 books 3 stars, 10 books 2 stars, and 2 books 1 star. So as you can see, I'm not as harsh as everyone seems to think I am. It's just I very rarely give out 5 stars. The reason I don't give out that many 1 stars is because I tend to DNF a book if I'm hating it. The only reason I would carry on is because I'm like hate reading it. You know how you like hate watch something or hate ship something? You may not know what I mean, but sometimes it's just too bad to stop, and then I can prepare a good rant review, and other times it's because I've told someone I'll read it, like the publisher or a friend or something. So yeah, I do tend to DNF the books that I hate, which is why there's fewer 1 and 2 star books. I'm surprised that I rated that many 2, because normally I'd stop, because 2 means it's kind of boring. 3 stars is kind of average, and 4 stars is very, very high, and that's because I am quite good at picking out the books that I want to read and that I think I'll enjoy. I think I've been doing this for long enough to actually be able to tell if I'm gonna love a book or not. Although saying that, my like really good ratings 4 and 5 are almost equal with 1, 2 and 3. Do I even know what I'm talking about? Probably not. And then I was also going to look into the male-female splits and how many diverse books I've read, except my spreadsheet is now refusing to load. So yay, this video has gone really well. So with that, I'm going to ignore that. Oh, actually, I was going to count how many YouTube videos I've uploaded this year because I would find that really interesting. I've uploaded 39 videos and I think that's quite good for me, so I'm pleased with that. So now onto the goals. I have a few that I do need to address because some of them have gone really well, others have not. So one of my first goals was to have a low Goodreads goal, and this year I set it at 5. I'm doing really well. I've now read 61 books as of the 11th of July, or 59 as of June. Another one of my goals was to reduce my physical TBR, and I think I have done that quite successfully. I've got a pile of books over there that I'm looking at now that I've had definitely since before 2019. I think only 4 of them are new. That's decent, I think. I think I've probably gotten my TBR down by about 20 books. I could definitely do better, and that is one of my goals going forward into the rest of the year. I'm actually starting this in July. I will be reading One Way, as you know, and then a bunch of books up there from my physical TBR because I do need to get it down. I've got 2 bookshelves here and here, and then bookshelf behind me, and then a ton of books at my granddad's house. I need to get these physical books down. For the rest of the year, I'm hopefully going to be mainly focusing on this bookshelf. That said, I have recently discovered my library. I did know it was there the whole time, but they've actually got some quite good books and I didn't realise they did. And then also there are a bunch of new releases that I would really want to read because I think kind of as a booktuber, you want to stay up to date with new releases, at least I do. Especially because I do the new releases video every single month. I think it would be silly of me not to, and then I want to know what everyone else is reading. Who knows, I will hopefully continue to reduce my TBR. Another goal was to take part in more readathons and in brackets every single month. I don't think I've done this every single month. I don't think I've done it successfully every single month, but I have taken part in more readathons than I did in 2018. I am currently taking part in a readathon right now, the Bibliothon, and then I'll be taking part in Off the Grid and maybe 24 in 48, and then also the Reading Rush, which is coming up soon as you're watching this video. July is looking good for readathons. I think August might be a bit calmer, and then September should be good as well, and then October you've obviously got the Spookathon. So I think I'm doing quite well so far with this goal, and I think I will continue to do well in the future. It's just I think I could be more active when it comes to readathons, so it's not necessarily the taking part as in like the reading. I want to be more active within the community. I want to be watching people's TBR videos and wrap up videos and vlogs and things, and getting involved on Twitter because everyone talks about what they're reading on there. And I just think it would be a lot nicer than just reading for an entire week on my own. I'm going to amend this goal slightly and say I want to take part in more readathons and be more social with them, rather than just using them as a way to read more books. This next one is one that I'm doing horribly at, and that is to finish more series. I don't think I've finished any series this year. I've started new series, but I don't think I've finished any. Let me just have a quick look at my handy spreadsheet. Yeah, no, so I haven't finished any series this year, which means I've got a lot of catching up to do in the second half of the year. This is definitely a goal that I would like to continue with because I have a lot of series that I want to finish. For example, there's the Seven Realms series, which I have read all but the last book for, and I've been on the 4th book for years and I just haven't gotten around to it, so I want to finish that one. I do want to finish the Throne of Glass series, except I've got an idea for that series, so I'm going to take that a bit slower and I'm probably not going to finish it this year. It's just so kind of underwhelming that I haven't finished any of them, and everyone's talking about these great endings and I just haven't done it, so I'm going to make that a goal. Maybe I could finish one every other month. I don't want to go too mad about this because I know it's a weakness of mine. It's been like this for years, but I'm hoping maybe I can manage to finish 3 series in 2019. The next 2 are ones that I haven't done. The first one of those is host a readathon. I was going to do that in July, but I just didn't have time to prepare, and now I think with moving house hunting, moving house, and trying to find a new schedule, I think that'll be quite difficult, so I might put the readathon off until next year because I want to get used to my new routine first, because I'll be house hunting for the next 2 months, then I'll be moving, and then it'll be our birthdays and anniversary, and then it'll be Christmas, so I don't think I'll have time to commit to a readathon that I'll be hosting. And then the second one is to post more creative or discussion posts, and I haven't really done this one. I've posted a couple. I did post my video in which I read Books and Lala's favourite books of 2018, which I really enjoyed. I was going to do that with another booktuber as well, or another couple of booktubers. It just took so much out of me that I just haven't yet, so I think I'm going to do that again next year with a different person. And I do have a bunch of really creative, or what I think are really creative ideas in the pipeline. It's just taking a while to kind of put them together, especially with my busy schedule, so I think I need to figure out my schedule first. As for discussions, I probably am not going to do those anytime soon. They are something that I would like to focus on in the future, but again, time-wise, stress-wise, I don't think I can commit to that. I did set myself the goal of being more consistent, and I think I have been compared to 2018. It's just I've had a couple of little blips in my schedule, but mostly I think I've been quite consistent with uploading multiple times a week. I wanted to read more review copies and reduce the number of arcs that I have, and I have done that. I just don't have the figures for you, so just trust me, I am reading more of my review copies and requesting less. I wanted to vlog more, and I haven't done this really. I am vlogging a bit, it's just I haven't uploaded some of them because I didn't really like them after I'd finished them, and back in 2018 I was vlogging quite a bit, so once I get into the routine of things again I will be vlogging a lot more, so I expect this to be a lot better in the second half of 2019. The next one is be better at social media, and I think I am getting better. I'm definitely talking to a lot more people and following them and interacting more, which is nice. And I'm also replying to all of my comments on YouTube as well, which again I'm really proud of because I really like it when people reply to me. It's just really nice to get a conversation going. And I also really like it when the same people keep coming back, which they're not going to do if you keep ignoring their comments. I think I'm doing better at social media. I definitely could do a lot better. And I think going into the second half of 2019, I'm going to hopefully be a bit better at taking part in kind of social events. And last but definitely not least, thank God, because this video is almost 26 minutes long, I wanted to review every single 2019 book that I read in 2019. And I'm failing at this so badly. I've reviewed 2 or 3 on my channel, and I haven't really reviewed anything on my blog in the longest time, so I'm just a bit shit at this. I do want to continue with this towards the end of the year because, like I said in my goals video, it is so important to boost new authors and to share your opinions and to get the books out there. That's why I'm here, kind of. I'm like here to promote and discuss books, and if I'm not doing that, then why am I even here? Like, it's all well and good posting TBR videos and new releases videos, but if I don't talk about them once I've read them, then what is the point? It's also really important for the authors to gain exposure, so by posting on Amazon and Goodreads and Waterstones, hopefully I can help with that. And then I also think it's very important to post my honest thoughts, even if the books are bad, so that's not as great for the authors and their exposure, but it's good for discussions and letting my friends know whether I think they should read a book, or whether I think they'd enjoy it, or whether I hated something. So I want to get better at this in the second half of the year. I haven't really come across many books that I want to gush about on this channel, or ones that I want to rant about either, really. There may not be many video reviews. I do definitely want to do one for The City of Brass and The Kingdom of Copper, but I find it very difficult to post video reviews if I'm not passionate about the book one way or the other. So that's why you might not see many review videos, but I will definitely be at least reviewing them on Goodreads, even if it's not on my blog or YouTube channel. So those were all my stats and goals. I'm sorry this video is so freaking long. It's up to nearly 30 minutes now. If you have done one of these videos, let me know in the comments below, because I will watch them. I love watching these videos and reading these posts. I find them so interesting. I hope you found mine interesting as well. Congratulations if you made it this far. And I guess I will revisit these goals and statistics at the end of the year, and we'll see how I did. Wish me luck.